Hey everyone, we're here tonight with the 300 Club, and we are talking about one of my favorite topics of sacrifice. Okay. And sacrifice can be something, and I'm gonna, I think we're all, if you guys could mute, that'd be great. I don't hear a lot at this point, but jumping in at the end is fine. But sacrifice is something that is necessary when we have somewhere we want to go. Okay. It's necessary always, right? If you think about something you've ever done that means something to you, you had to give something up, right? And pick something else up. And so a lot of times in my former training, I would talk about that, right? What do you feel like, especially if people feel like they are stuck or they are, not getting the results they want? What I would say to them is, what do you need to set down and pick up? Okay. And a lot of times we have to set down toxic behaviors. We have to set down thoughts that aren't serving us. We have to set down people pleasing. We have to set down all that, right? But then in conjunction to that, we want to pick up discipline. We want to pick up sacrifice. We want to pick up a different type of daily interaction that we're doing. So I want you to understand that a lot of times when we reach a place where we're like, I'm not growing how I want to, you need to ask yourself, what self, what do I think needs to change? What could I set down that isn't serving me? What isn't working? Okay. And as you progress in your business, there will be times when you're doing a behavior. Okay. For a total example, you're doing a behavior that used to work, right? Maybe you're doing a behavior, or maybe you're having, oh, wow, we're going to do launch parties. This is a total example. Okay. I have no clue if this is beneficial or not. Okay. Total example, not coming from anywhere. But let's say you got to Ruby or Senior Ruby, like going on these launch parties, but something has changed and they're not giving you the results you want anymore. So what I want to invite you to do is, not only are we going to be analyzing at any given point what could change or need to change, but we want to give ourselves permission that it's okay if what has brought us to this point isn't working or providing results. It doesn't mean that something is wrong or missing in us. It just means that things are changing, and if you're doing your business the right way, okay, the landscape of the way it looks changes 30 days over 30 days over 30 days. You want to be talking to new people. You want to be inspiring new people. You want to have new customers. You want to be engaging them. You want it to look different. Okay. 30 days over 30 days over 30 days. All right. So as I said, and I can share this article with you, I want to go ahead and share these just some framework around discipline. Okay. So guys, at the bare minimum, right? What is discipline? It's doing something when you don't feel like it. Okay. Like you don't feel like drinking your pink drink sometimes because you're like, I don't feel like it. You don't feel like eating clean. You don't feel like steaming vegetables. You don't feel like posting on social media. That is what discipline is. And I can tell you that if you can get comfortable with discipline,
I love you
it's a
too.
really, really special experience for you to be able to also share with other people what discipline looks like. Okay. If I'm totally honest, which we know I like to be totally honest. Okay. Discipline is the only thing that has carried me through for 10 years, because I didn't ever give myself the opportunity not to show up. Okay. And I'm going to hit you straight in the middle of the eyes. I just want you to know somebody's going to watch this and maybe get their feelings ruffled. Maybe you're going to get your feelings ruffled. I just want to let you know that there are people that give themselves permission not to show up because they don't feel like it, or it's not self-care for them, or whatever woo-woo we're doing that day. Okay. This is a business. And if you treat it that way, you're going to get businessy results. If you treat it as though you have to feel good at any given fucking moment, you're going to be like, I'm not getting what I want. I'm so confused. Oh, are you though? But are you confused? Because you chose that you could just, tap out at any given time. And guys, listen, I'm the first person to understand things going on in your life. If there is a tragedy, if there's something, like, I'm not hitting you hard. What I want you to do is just reconcile and be willing to look in the mirror and say, am I in a bad mood today? And I'm choosing not to show up? Am I feeling feelings? And so I'm not choosing to show up? Are my feelers kind of ruffled? So it's easier for me to like walk away from this and tell myself that God doesn't want this for me, because God doesn't do that, right? Like, just FYI, he doesn't bring you to something and then tell you if it gets hard that it's okay for you to like let go of your purpose. That's not the way he works, right? I don't know if you've ever been aware of what the valley feels like and walking through hard things so that you can come out on the mountaintop. But if you've ever experienced something hard in your business, it's because literally everything blooms in the valley. Just so you know, right? We're not blooming on rock. Okay. So all of the goodness that you're going to, all of that newness, all of that rebirth, all of that renewal, that's going to happen when you're at a low. Okay. And just embrace that and just know that. And it's going to happen whether you accept it or not. So just, know that too. So I'm going to get back into this. Obviously we know that discipline is important to our well-being. Discipline is important. Here's the other thing is that we've all, I think everybody on the screen is a mom, right? Discipline is saying, I'm going to show up to keep you alive, even though I want to take a nap. Okay. Like, we've all been there. We can commit, right? Everybody on the screen can commit. You've proven it. You can't tell me that you can't commit because you've already proven it, because you have living human beings, okay, that live at your house, okay? And they are alive because of you, right? And obviously the grace of God. So here's a couple ways that we're going to get ourselves into more discipline. So if you have an ability to take notes, this is what we're going to do. I am recording this. And so if you want to listen, that's totally fine. But the first things we want to do with discipline is define our goals with clarity. We want to know where we're going. Okay. And here's the bottom line is that I've seen people kind of throw goals into the air without action or without a kind of a roadmap. This is a hope and a dream. This is a wish and a glittery kind of idea. But what we get to do is we get to instead define our goal, right? And you've got somebody in your life, in your business, that will walk you through how to kind of create the path. Okay. If you don't feel like your person can create the path, I can help you create the path. So if you're watching this, like, I know I see the women on here, but if you're watching this and you're like, I don't feel like I have this, yes, you do. So that's not an excuse. So we want to define our goals with clarity. And what we want to do is we want to get really super duper clear on how we're going to get there. And here's the beauty of this business is that you're going to lay it out and we're going to create the names. We're going to be like, oh, Jennifer is going to do this and Sharon's going to do this and that just gets us going. It's always going to be plan B. It's always going to be different than what we think. And let that just let that just, you know, set you free. That all we have to do is get that plan and get excited. And then if we're just open to how it transpires, the sky is the limit, and we can typically surpass where we want to go. We just have to create that vision. So if you have not yet this month, right? We're on the 2nd of the month. If you've not created a pathway about how to get where you want to go, I'm inviting you to do that. And you like, we are in a beautiful circumstance where we have all kinds of people that want to love and support you. Your sponsor wants to love and support you. Okay. Our community, our culture wants to love and support you. But ultimately, you can create a path. You can say where you want to go. You can write that down. You can write it down and be like, I don't know the hell how I'm going to get here, but I freaking want this. I want it so bad. Get there. Okay. Get there in a way that you are desperate to figure it out. That's what I want. The next thing is that we want to be honest about our limitations. And here's what that looks like. I don't even like the word limitation. What I want to talk to you about is I want you to get curious about, you throw your plan out and you're like, ooh, I'm going to do X, Y, Z. I'm so excited. You write it down, you know, create a vision for it. And then what I want you to do, because I'm going to encourage you to just be that strongest coach for yourself too, is what could get in the way of me doing this? And when you can write down and anticipate the bullshit that's going to come into your head, the struggles, the this, the that, right? Like maybe you've had a family member that is not feeling well and you're the go-to. Maybe you have a day job. Maybe you have a mindset issue where you're like, I set a goal and then I quit on myself. I don't know what your limitations are, but you do. You do. Okay. You know, you get to get curious with yourself and say, why every month that I set a goal, why doesn't it happen? If that is the case. Okay. And you have to ask yourself, what is it about my goal that shuts me down? What is it about my month that does X, Y, Z? Here's a perfect example. Okay. I learned a long time ago that if I can anticipate, right, and that's what I'm asking you to do, we want to anticipate barriers. We want to anticipate ruffles, right? And here's what I know is I've got a schedule that is so different. Right? Tanya, yeah, it's okay. I got you. Okay. I want us to anticipate, here's what happens is I've got a weird schedule, guys. I'm just being honest. I've got a weird schedule where I get these chunks of time where I'm unstoppable, right? I'm like this. I'm like this. And then all of a sudden, I get hit with some things that feel like they are major barriers, major mindset struggles, and I get frustrated and I'm just telling you, I'm a human being too. So here's where I get to take the power back, is that I get to get better. And at the beginning of the month, I get to say, Sadie, you have all these plans. I do everything I'm asking you to do. I do it. Okay. I lay out my plan. I do my thing. I do not have a coach that does it with me, but I can coach myself. Okay. Cause that I can do that. And I say to myself, I look at my calendar and I think, okay, here's where we've got camps. This is over the summer. Here's where we've got camps. Here's where this is this. Here's where they're going to go see their dad. Here's where I have to do that, you guys. And here's what I can tell you is if I don't, game over. My mindset is in the gutter, in the trash. It is horrible. So I want you to get really clear. I want you to be able to pull up a calendar, right? Only you know your schedule. Only you know Perfect, Amanda, that's wonderful. Only you know what is coming for you, right? You might be like, well, I'm hosting a 50th wedding anniversary party and it's taking over my life. Like, I don't know what you've got. But what you can do to take the power back is start the beginning of the month and look at all this and notice it. And if you're somebody who I will literally die on the hill of this. If you need a piece of paper that allows you to write out every single hourly commitment, and that could bless you, I have one of those that changed everything about my business. Okay. It is incredible. It is a one pager. I got it at Leadership Excellence and it's like a free resource. If you want me to send you that, I will. They went so far at that Leadership Excellence to suggest different color markers. I am not that level of fantastic, but you might be. Okay. You might be. All that to say is it's writing down. Maybe if you really want to get into this, it's purple is faith time. Red is kiddo time. Yellow is school time. Green is sports time. I have no clue, right? What that could look like for you, but if that could be helpful, I want you to just, ping into our our little chat that we're in, or message me privately. It's totally fine. Whenever I feel out of control in my business, I get back into that habit. I just want you to know I'm not asking you to do something that I don't feel like is valuable. I'm asking you to lean into that if you ever feel like you're like, I don't have time, especially if you say, I don't have time. If you think you don't have time, this is a beautiful worksheet for you to be like, well, I really do have time. I'm doing other shit with my time. Okay. And that's normal, right? We're all human beings. Okay. So along with this, we want to prioritize and plan our time. We want to prioritize and plan where we want to go. I can tell you that wishing and hoping a goal into existence doesn't work. Okay, it doesn't. Because here's the thing is that when you make a plan and you execute with that plan, you are literally moving differently than if you're like, oh, it's going to be so good. It's going to be so big. And you're not connecting with your leaders and you're not working with people to rank advance and you're not working with your own, white lines to order or get people on or whatever. When you wish and hope it, baby, it is glitter in the air. It is nothing but a pipe dream. I promise. You need to create that plan at the beginning. And I'm telling you, I got two girls on here that are my girls, my personally, they know, right? We talk through this, we do this. If you're watching this and you don't feel like, and people will watch this after this, right? The recording. If you don't feel like you've got an opportunity or a guideline or how to do that, lean in, message us in this thread, message me privately. Once you get it together on how to lay out your month, everything changes. Everything changes because we all start strong. And here's what's going to happen. I want you to write this down. About the 10th of the month, your emotions are going to tank. Okay. That is documented after 10 years. On the 10th, on the 9th, on the 10th, we go from up high here to feeling like, okay, it feels like it's a lull. And then we tell ourselves that lull is a bad thing. No. Okay, guys, that's not what's happening. It's just that we're moving into a new phase. We're moving into a new phase of our month. And so, obviously I'm not laying that out in this given way, but anticipate an ebb and a flow, okay? An ebb and a flow emotionally. I want you to anticipate that because right now you're like, the sky's the fucking limit. I'm going emerald. I'm doing this in 30 days. I'm talking to everybody. I'm signing everybody up. And that is true. If you kept that energy, it would happen. Okay. but something's going to happen in a several amount of days where you're going to be like, I don't feel like my team is listening. I don't feel like I have a plan. I don't know what's going on. And that's why the beginning, when your emotions are high, are so important that you write that plan down. You don't deviate from that plan. And if for some reason a component of your plan, let's say you're like, oh, Sharon is going to go silver. And you're like, Sharon, da, 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 I'm so excited. We're laying out plans with Sharon. She's posting on social media. We're teaching her how to put us in three-way messages. And then all of a sudden, Sharon's like, I'm like so bloated. I'm not happy. So here's the deal. You've already put Sharon in your plan. And it's as easy as being like, okay, switching into customer service mode with Sharon. And we're replacing Sharon with somebody else who can go silver. Do you guys get it? Right? It's not about needing certain people to do things. And if they don't do it, we don't win. It's about laying out the plan and saying, you know what? I'm going to find somebody who wants to be a silver. I'm going to find somebody who wants to make $300 extra. I'm going to find that. Okay. All right. So we're going to prioritize and we're going to plan. And obviously this goes without saying, but we're breaking our plans down into actionable steps. Okay. Here's what doesn't work for people. Big moves without an actionable smaller step. And what that means is, and it's really nobody on this screen, okay? But I've heard people say, I'm going to recruit 30 people in a month. I'm going to recruit 30 people in a month. I'm going to create, 2 golds and XYZ. Fucking loving that. Okay. But sometimes that will break down because when you put the heavy burden on yourself, it can start to cause you to have conversations within yourself of like, I can't do this. I'm not equipped. I'm not capable, which are all lies. But we're not designed to do this alone, you guys. And here's the deal. There are women on our team that are so huge influencers. Lots of, especially when you first start out, you've got that kind of honey hole of that warmer market. Okay. You want to sign up 30 people? Like, yeah, let's go. Like do it and take pictures, right? Like, let's go. Okay. But the truth of the matter is that our goals do not lay heavily into, or they do not crumble under our lack of skill. It's not about a lack of skill. It's about an abundance of offer. Okay, guys, right? We're offering abundantly this opportunity. We're leaning in, we're developing others, we're showing up, and we're giving ourselves the opportunity to develop others. That's what this is about. Okay. I would love to tell you that you can go all the way to diamond by yourself, but you can't. Like, I don't even want to lie to you. Like in the numbers in my math brain says, yeah, you can. Like, duh, you can. But you don't want to. We're not designed that way. That's not the culture that we've created. We're a culture of developing other people to bring people along to help them win. So whatever your goal is, and I love a big ass goal. You guys, if you haven't met me, just know. If you come at me with a big goal, Tanya sent me a big goal earlier today. I was like, yes, okay, I'm into this. Let's go. Like, I love that. Okay. Nothing excites me more, but we've got to break it down to make it feel, no matter what, no matter who is creating that goal, we want to create a how. Okay. And the how is really, really important. And the discipline, okay, and the sacrifice comes in that we look at that plan and we work that plan, even if our emotions tell us we can't, because the emotions are lying. Trust me when I tell you. Okay. Your emotions don't know shit. Your emotions are trying to keep you safe. Feel me? They're trying to keep you safe. They don't know what you're capable of. My gym is so awesome. And they tell us every single time, they're like, your body can go. It's your mind that's weak. And I believe the same thing about the stamina of this business. Okay. So the next thing I want to offer is lean into your accountability partners, specifically related to sacrifice and discipline. I think that sacrifice and discipline are the exact, well, they're not the exact same. They are commingled, right? They are in an open marriage, right? Like they are together. Okay. Like I don't even know. I'm trying to make a joke, but like they're so together. Very, very important. I want you to find accountability partners. It doesn't have to be anybody on the screen. It doesn't have to, I want you to lean into someone and have a conversation with someone that you've identified that they are, you could reach out to them, right? And they're going to be like, hey, I feel your energy that you're feeling. You can't do this. You can do this, right? And that's what I think is so incredible about our events. And we're going to keep doing events. And I appreciate everybody who's locally, commented on our kind of our, poll around like what days you could get together. And if you haven't done that, go into our leadership thread. But the more we can get together, the more we can be together, the more we can lean on each other, the better. Because here's the deal. There is always going to be somebody brand new to this that feels like everybody else is farther along. And we're all just figuring it out. We're failing forward. Guys, would you agree that we're failing forward? I think that we all feel like we're failing forward. And we're like, we don't know what we're doing, but we're doing it, right? And the beauty is that our culture brings in, and obviously we can have men. I say this caveat all the time, but my heart is here for the women, because I feel like we are just the most dynamic, special part of this world, and we get to change everything for people because our purpose is so incredibly identified when we lean into wanting more for our families. Would you agree? Yeah. All right. So here's the last thing I'm going to tell you is that with the sacrifice, with the discipline, we've got to find ways to celebrate our milestones. Okay. You could be somebody who's a silver right now and be like, I'm going to be diamond. I'm going to be diamond. Well, that's a long ass way to get to celebrate something. Can we do next natural step? I want to do next natural step. And the thing that's great about this company, and I want you to lean into this, and I'm holding you all accountable, is that we naturally have things to celebrate built in, right? We've got this creamy thing that we can earn, right? It's recruit for and develop a silver. Like that's something to celebrate. And that feels like maybe feels small, but when we do it, we can turn around and invite someone to do it, you guys. That's all this is helping somebody who's 10 steps behind you come with you. Okay? Because I'm going to tell you this right now, 100% is that there are people, the people that will join you are 10 steps behind you. If you joined somebody in this business, there's 10 steps ahead. Right? And we get the opportunity to be what that person was for you, for someone else. So I want you to raise your lid of leadership and remember that someone needs you. It is so easy for us to disqualify ourselves or feel like we're not good enough or we see people ahead of us. But look, regular people, I've said this like 42 freaking times in the past like 24 hours, I feel like. Regular people don't know anything about our world. They don't know what silver is. They don't know what diamond is. They don't know what star diamond is. We do, right? And so we get the opportunity to let that drive us. But at the end of the day, regular people just understand I paid my mortgage. I paid for my car, right? I'm helping my family, right? I'm getting accountability partners. That's what people who are not in our world, and by the way, we want them in our world. We do. But at the end of the day, literally, if I said the words, and you guys might not even know what this means, but if I said the words reentry Ruby, would you guys even know what that meant? Okay. As long as I got one head turning no, that means like, do you know what I'm saying? Like, let's leave our lingo out. Let's keep moving. Let's keep dreaming for ourselves and our families, but let's do it through just inspiring other people, right? And that means to bring it all the way back. That means that we are sacrificing sometimes for the greater good and the greater picture, and we're using self-discipline right along with that. So, does anyone have any questions before we stop the recording? No? Okay, I'm going to stop the recording.